Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving into a truly revolutionary shift in technology. We're talking about a massive leap in data processing that leverages the literal speed of light to hit performance levels we've, frankly, only ever dreamed of. So, if you care about the future of computing, mobile devices, or honestly just making things run infinitely faster and more efficiently, you're in exactly the right place.
Now, I want you to imagine something for a second. What if your phone processed data at the speed of light? Literally. Imagine a smartphone that you hardly ever need to charge, but it processes massive amounts of data instantly. Sounds a bit like science fiction, right? But it's actually the reality we're stepping into right now. Today, our core focus is exactly how these new chips use light to make this happen, and how they are completely rewriting the rules of computing.
Okay, let's dive into this. Section 1, the shift to light, leaving electrons behind.
So here's the foundational definition we really need to build on. A photonic chip is a device that uses photons, which are literally particles of light, to transmit data, rather than relying on your traditional electronic signals. By replacing those old electronic signals with actual light, these chips hit processing speeds that traditional electronic chips simply can't match. But here's the real genius part. They're actually designed to integrate seamlessly with existing semiconductor technologies. So we get this massive performance boost without having to completely throw out our current tech infrastructure.
Moving to Section 2, electrons versus photons, solving speed and heat.
What's really interesting about this is the stark contrast. See, traditional electronic chips rely on electrons, and as those electrons move around, they generate friction. That means heat. Heat requires massive cooling systems and leads to high power consumption. Basically, they turn our phones and servers into tiny little heaters that drain batteries super fast. But photonic chips, they use photons. And photons just don't generate heat in the same way. Because they use light to carry the information, these particles just zoom effortlessly through the chip, keeping the device entirely cool and making it remarkably energy efficient.
And because these chips use light, the speed is absolutely staggering. We're talking about real-time data processing happening in literal fractions of a second. Complex tasks, massive data analysis, things that used to require massive computing power and agonizing amounts of time, they're now completed instantly. The speed of light is literally the speed limit of the universe, and we are now computing with it. It's wild.
Which brings us to Section 3, real-world applications today, from China to the globe.
And this brilliantly illustrates how this tech is already making waves across three massive sectors. In mobile devices, it's being applied to Chinese smartphones to deliver way faster processing and significantly longer battery life. Then, looking at data centers, replacing traditional electronic parts with photonic solutions allows them to handle much larger volumes of data while drastically cutting down energy costs. And over in the telecommunications sector for high-speed internet, it's providing the faster, much more reliable connections we need for areas dealing with super intense data traffic. Taking a closer look at the mobile sector specifically, China is currently leading the charge here. Chinese tech companies have been incredibly quick adopters. They're already integrating photonic chips into their latest mobile devices. And by doing this, they're offering users a vastly superior experience and essentially setting entirely new global benchmarks for mobile speed and battery life. So, the crucial point is that this rapid adoption creates a massive ripple effect across the entire global market. Because Chinese companies are setting these crazy new performance standards, the Russian mobile industry, along with major global heavyweights like Samsung and Apple, are going to be forced to adapt. They'll need to adopt similar photonic technologies simply to remain competitive in a world that now expects computing at the speed of light. It's really adapt or get left behind.
Let's look at Section 4, navigating the transition. Best practices and pitfalls.
If you're a professional looking to successfully adopt this, you first need to lay the groundwork. You've got to stay informed on the evolving capabilities and definitely invest in your staff's training so they have that competitive edge. Before you buy anything, meticulously evaluate compatibility with your current hardware. Then, as you deploy, you can use this tech to prioritize energy efficiency and build truly sustainable systems. It's super helpful to collaborate with experts to maximize the potential and definitely adopt the technology gradually to minimize operational disruptions. Oh, and through all of this, always focus on security. Protecting the data processed through these blazing fast systems is absolutely paramount.
Let's move to the flip side and see how this builds into critical mistakes you definitely need to avoid. Ignoring that compatibility we just mentioned, that will immediately lead to integration nightmares. Overlooking training leaves your team totally unprepared.
And whatever you do, do not underestimate the initial costs. While photonic chips offer incredible long-term savings, the upfront financial investment is definitely significant. Rushing the implementation without adequate planning is just going to lead to underperformance, and neglecting security, that's a risk you simply cannot take with sensitive data.
So, what does this all mean? I'll leave you with this final provocative thought. Are you ready for the new era of computing? Embracing photons and the speed of light promises a faster, far more sustainable future. It's a shift that is completely redefining industry standards as we speak, literally from the phone in your pocket to the massive servers powering the global internet. The shift to light is here. Thank you so much for joining me in this explainer, and I highly encourage you to keep exploring how this incredible technology is going to shape our world.
If you found this useful, don't forget to hit the like button. It really helps the channel. Subscribe so you don't miss future videos, and share this video with someone who needs to see this. It helps grow the audience and lets us create more content like this for you.